While every mainstream YouTuber is probably telling you not to buy this card, let me explain to y'all why I ended up buying it. Let's actually experience the unboxing first. Alright, so first of all, let's start with the box. I just want to mention that this box is pretty big. This is a 15-inch at Dell XPS. Yeah, it's a pretty big box. So anyways, this is how it comes in. Alright, next we have these flaps. So the box opens like this. And then we have our GPU box that just comes out. Alright, so this is how the box looks, and I'm telling y'all, this is like the fanciest GPU and packaging I've ever done. So next, you need to tear this right here. Alright, now that you tear it, this basically opens up, and there's the GPU. Seriously guys, this packaging is probably like 50 bucks alone. And there we have it. The RTX 4070 Founders Edition. Alright, so one of the reasons I bought this card is, first of all, it's pretty compact. It's a true 2-slot design. It's not too big, and it uses, well, this is NVIDIA's 16-pin adapter, but it doesn't use too much power. Let me show y'all my case. All right, this is my case, and it's probably hard to tell, but it's not a very big case. It's actually smaller than a mid tower. That's a full tower right there, and this computer has a Titan V in it right now. Now, I did fit a 3090 Ti in here before, but now unfortunately NVIDIA increased the size of the 4090 from the 3090 Ti, but to make matters worse, the 4080 is the exact same size as a 4090. So a 4080 won't fit in my case, and this is the problem with most 4080 designs, if not all of them. There are actually some 4070s that are pretty big too, but yeah, so most people are recommending a RX 6950 XT or 6900 XT, which, by the way, those are all at least 2.5, if not 3 slot cards. The 6800 XT is also 2.5, if not 3 slots as well. The RX 6800 is the only card that is 2 slots. And while I would love to have an AMD card in this computer, you'll see in a second why I'm going with NVIDIA actually here. In terms of pricing, this GPU is $599. That's expensive for a 4070, which, by the way, if you look at the specs, it's should have been a 4060 Ti, to be honest. Now, luckily for me, I actually found a 10% off coupon. So if you buy from Best Buy and you have a Best Buy gift card, I'll put the code in the description. No guarantee it'll work for you, but it worked for me. I got 10% off this card, so actually it was less than $600 after tax, which is alright, I guess. Alright, so I'm gonna warn y'all right now, I haven't dusted this computer in a long time, and I have a cat, so there's gonna be a bunch of dust bunnies in there, but you're gonna see very soon why I chose this graphics card. Alright, there it is. So right now I have a Titan V. I have this Asus HyperX M.2 card, and I do have one slot free down there that you can't see, which I actually need to install my Ethernet card into, but yeah. It's a pretty tight fit in here, and I had a 3090 Ti in here, so the 4090 won't clear right here. These cables are just stuffed here because I had a 3090 Ti and I needed 3 8-pin adapters, but yeah. So let's remove that Titan V first, and then we'll fit the other card inside. Alright, so one of the downfalls of having this super huge Noctua heatsink is I need to remove this fan from up here because otherwise I can't release my Titan V from the brackets. Speaking of which, let me actually disconnect these right here. Alright, so the fan comes out like that. And now I need to stick my finger in here and try and get this thing out. But before that, let's loosen these thumb screws over here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay. Got the GPU out. Alright, so as you can see, this is the RTX 4070 and this is my Titan V. So this is my old GPU. And as you can see, the Titan V is a bigger GPU technically, so it's slightly longer. But these are one of my favorite GPUs, and I do have another one in there. So my plan is to put this Titan V back into my EVGA Super Record 2 workstation right there. So I actually took it out of there, so I had 2 in that workstation. And then I had a 3090 Ti in my desktop, which I probably should have kept, but it's fine. We're getting with the 4070. Alright, so for the rest of the stuff, you just pull this. Everything is here in this little package right here. So we have our cable right here. So in terms of power, we only need 2 8-pins, which is great. So yeah, let's go ahead and install that. Alright, let's listen for that click. There we go. I'm gonna push it in super hard. There we go. So yeah, that thing's not going anywhere. I don't want my connector to burn like everyone else is having problems, but it's definitely in there now. Wow, this is going to be a very tight fit. There we are. So we've gone ahead and installed it. And now I have one more PCI Express slot. Might as well fill it up with something else here with this NVIDIA adapter. All right, as you can see, we have our 4070. We have our Asus card. And down there is our NVMe adapter. So yeah, my computer installation is done here. Alright, everything is super big on my screen because there's no GPU drivers. So while that installs, I'm going to put this Titan V back into its original spot over there. Alright, look, they're advertising the 4070, the king of mid-range. Well, I play at 4K, so we'll see about that. Alright, the Titans are back in their spots and drivers are done. So let's check out some benchmarks now. Alright, looking at benchmarks in Firestrike, as you can see, we got 38,000 for the 4070 and 33,000 for the Titan V. Now, Firestrike wasn't very impressive, but it does make sense because this is a 1080p benchmark, so the Titan V isn't too far away from the 4070. Things change in Temps, which is a 1440p benchmark. As you can see, the 4070 gets 17,000 where the Titan V is getting 13,000. The gap has increased here as the resolution has gotten higher. Looking at 4K gaming, as you can see, you can basically get over 60 FPS in every single game, and this is raw performance. There's no DLSS on and there's no ray tracing, so it can game at 4K. Looking at 1440p, you're getting over 100 FPS in basically almost every single game, so at 1440p you can play with high refresh rate monitors and get a nice gaming experience. At 1080p, you can see you're getting over 120 FPS on basically every game, and this will allow you to use an even higher refresh rate 1080p monitor. But honestly, I wouldn't get this card for 1080p, I would get it for at least 1440p, especially because of the price. Looking at temperatures, this is one of the reasons I like the Founders Edition cards, especially with the 3000 and 4000 series. The Founder coolers actually work pretty well, and the temperatures I saw were below 70 in every use case. The Titan V has a old school blower style cooler and it was hitting over 80 in basically every workload, but the Titan V is a very big chip, so it makes sense that it's very hot. Looking at power draw, this is another reason that I like the 4070. As you can see, it uses less than 200 watts of power in basically every workload, whereas my Titan V uses around 300 watts of power. If you're in a location that has expensive electricity, you might want to consider a 4070 because it takes less power but performs just as good as GPUs like the 3080. Alright, so why go for NVIDIA instead of AMD? Well, for me, personally, I have a PS Vita and I have a program called Moonlight, which basically allows me to use the NVIDIA Shield streaming service to stream any game I want to my Vita in my home network. So that's pretty cool. And another thing is CUDA. You may have noticed that I had a Titan V, so CUDA is another reason. And besides that, there really isn't too many other reasons. So if you don't have any specific needs for an NVIDIA GPU, then by all means, check out the AMD options such as the 6800 XT. I didn't go with the RTX 3000 series, my cat, mainly because VRAM is less, and for example, a 3080 has 10 gigs of VRAM. Sure, a 3080 is like 1 to 2% faster than this card, but I lose 2 gigabytes of VRAM for my Titan V, and I gave it 4K, so VRAM is a necessity for me at this point. I would have gotten the 4080, especially with that coupon code, if the GPU was a proper size, but it's not. The 4070 Ti, again, there's no Founders card. I personally like Founder cards, and those are also huge cards. So the 4070 was the first GPU that was a properly sized GPU. I can actually even probably fit it in my super small form factor Alienware desktop over there, honestly. Not this one, but a different one. So yeah, the main reason would be for form factor or NVIDIA features. But if you don't care about those, then there are better options out there. So yeah, with that said, subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.